coming in heat big into town. Driving across the Waynesburg County line.
We've just heard the sound check for your solo acoustic tour. Why did you choose to go out solo?
I suppose the record I did was mostly acoustic, really. It ended up being mostly acoustic, you know, and something I thought about doing for a long time. I was originally signed as a solo acoustic act 20-some years ago, John Hammond. You know, I went into his office and I just had my guitar and I had my songs and I sat down and I played a few songs. And so I was signed to my record company as a folk act, basically. They didn't know I had a band or that I played you know, electric guitar at all, you know, and they sort of found out later when we started to make the records, you know. But so in a sense, I've kind of touched on that part of what I do. Certainly the first record I ever made was probably more of an acoustic record than an electric one. And I did Nebraska, a record called Nebraska in 1982, and that was acoustic. And so when I did the Tom Joad record, I said, well, this is the time now where I'm gonna, plus I was feeling closer to my folk voice. I felt like I had something I knew I wanted to say in that voice rather than sort of the rock and roll stuff at the moment. You know, it just felt like where I'd be most valuable and useful to my fans at the moment, you know. So that's how I ended up out here by myself. It's a little tricky though, you know.
Yeah. And your new record, it paints not a very optimistic picture of America today. Is that how you see it?
Well, you know, I guess I don't sort of begin writing with the idea of painting any particular picture. I think it's possible that I mean, you always function, over the years, I've always functioned a little bit as a social critic, sort of by the implications of my work, less than by where I started. You know, mainly I just try to come up with, I try to look around me, I try to come up with stories that feel real, that are based in what's going on in the country that I live in, and also things that aren't being spoken about that much. So consequently, you come up with probably the darker part of the place that I live, you know. And for me, it's a way of giving voice to some of those things and also maintaining a certain faith and a certain legacy with my own roots and where I came from, you know. So that's the approach that I take, you know. I'm sort of an optimistic pessimist in some sense, you know. Men walking along the railroad tracks, going someplace and there's no going back. Highway patrol choppers coming up over the ridge. Hot soup on a campfire under a bridge. Shelter line stretching round the corner. Welcome to the new world order. Families sleeping in their cars in the Southwest. No home, no job, no peace, no rest. Well, the highway's alive tonight, but nobody's kidding nobody about where it goes. Sitting down here in the campfire light, searching for a ghost of Tom Joad.
You mentioned before that you started acoustic, and now you're acoustic again. Is it like you've come full circle and more focused now?
Yeah, I feel this is, as far as sort of the things that I wanted my work to be about when I started, when I was in my early 20s and trying to formulate my own voice, you know, what I wanted to say and what I wanted my work to be about. I think that in a funny way, this tour is the essence of those things, you know, and a lot of the other stuff is all stripped away. So sort of the essence of my ideas and what I thought you could do with rock and roll music and the different issues you could address. In a funny way, this tour sort of is the core of those things. And so in that sense, I feel real comfortable up here, I guess, and I felt that it was a group of songs on this Tom Joad record that was as good as any songs I've ever written. You know, they're quieter, but they're not soft, you know. It's quiet music, but it's hard music, you know. And so I feel real committed to them, committed to the ideas that that they and the values that they embody, and I'm out here trying to bring it to my fans and get them heard a little bit, you know.
Yeah, but now you're 46. Do you feel more focused in your life now?
Yeah, you do. I think what happens is you go along and you make certain fundamental life choices that you put off. Certainly in in the work that I've done, I think that there's a you get to run a little wilder for longer than most people, you know. And I think when I got into my mid-30s, you know, you start to make very basic choices. I think like right now I've been doing this for 25 years, so there's a thrust to the work that I do. There's themes that I've been working about. So I've sort of chosen those things. I'll probably write about them basically my whole life. That's my life's work. You know, I have my family, and that's another sort of thing that really centers you and focuses you in a certain way. So in that sense, that I feel sort of about knowing who you are and what you're doing and what you want to do and what you're here for and what you're trying to do and what you want to bring to your audience, and hopefully, you know, tie into their lives with music that has meaning for them and that helps them get through the day, either by entertaining or by whatever, making them think. Or so I have a real sense of sort of what I'm doing now, I guess, better than I did maybe 10 or 15 years ago, you know, where you always sort of, you're standing and then you're running a little bit. You're standing and then you're running. These days I'm mostly standing, a little bit of running. So
It's a good point in your life.
yeah, I've been pretty happy.
Great.
You know,
Thank you very much.
thank you very much. Thanks
Thank
a
you for your
lot. I
time.
appreciate it.
And I'm looking forward
Thanks
to
to
the
my
show.
fans. Thank you.